What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Fragrance Friday, and I am very excited to film this video. I am filming this rather late, but I need some good things happening right now. So I am going to take the time to talk about some of my most worn fragrances right now. These are going to be more floral, kind of springy, summery scents, mainly because we are now in spring. But I've been really enjoying fragrances. I actually created a highlight on my Instagram now where I showcase my layering or my fragrance and lotion of the day and night, and I've really just been enjoying it, trying to find the small positives in life when sometimes things just aren't going your way. Anyways, if you are interested in hearing about some of my favorite fragrances that I've been really getting a lot of use out of lately, let's just get into it. Alrighty guys, so before we really get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I did just want to let you guys know that I did record this eye look and that this tutorial should be going up tomorrow, Saturday, and this video should be going up Friday. So with that said, let's go ahead. First, I'm going to talk about the two kind of lotions that I have been using. Full disclosure, I ran out of my non-scented lotion, so these literally are kind of the only lotions that I have. I did just recently receive my body butters from my friend's owned brand. I will have that brand linked down below, but basically I haven't really gotten the chance to dive into those, so I don't want to recommend them because I haven't really been wearing them really, and I do plan to get lotion. Life has just not been going my way, but I have the weekend off, so I'm very excited to kind of get some of these errands done and have some fun. Anyways, let's talk about the two body lotions, butters, whatever that I have been using. So the first one I actually recently hauled, I want to say actually last month, and this is from Scent Works, which is by Slatkin and Co. And this particular scent is Peach Sea Breeze, and this is a body cream. I picked this up from Kohl's, and so I think that's the only place I found it. But I will have it linked down below for you all. And this has a peach scent. It really does, but it's quite artificial. And it not to be that person, but it kind of smells cheap too. I also don't like the formula of this body cream. I find that it takes a lot for it to really rub in, and I find that this is kind of more of like the bad version of like whipped body butters or whipped body creams that I just personally don't jive with. It just doesn't work for me. But I've been getting my use out of it. I'm actually almost done with it, mainly because of the scent. And the combination of the scent and the fact that it is so thick, it does kind of last on my skin. And I find that layering this under some of the more fruity scented fragrances that I will be talking about today, it keeps the scent on my skin longer. So really that's why I've gotten through this. Not a favorite, not going to repurchase, but I'm getting my money's worth. So hey, it is that. And then the other kind of body lotion or cream that I want to talk about is an actual body lotion, and I really like this formula. This is actually from Philosophy. This is their Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere scent, but this is their body lotion. I really like the formula. I find that my skin just soaks this right up, and it just goes right into the skin. It's not overly thick. It's just nice. It just really melts into my skin. So I will be looking into kind of more body lotions from them. I also haven't found any irritation from either of these, and like I said, I do have eczema, and in the past I have reacted not so well to fragranced body butters or body lotions in general, which is why I kind of stopped going to what's the brand? Bath and Body Works. That's why I kind of stopped going to them like every season, is because I was having an effect to their body butters or their body lotions. But I really like this one. And fun fact, Philosophy is actually doing a sale right now because of Memorial Day. I believe it's either $20 off. I think it's $20 off or 20%. I can't really remember. There are so many sales going on right now, but I will have it linked down below again. So like I said, these have been kind of the main two, other than my other lotion that I already finished. And let me see if I can find it. Yep, my other lotion, In Case You Care, has been just the Eucerin. This has kind of been my everyday lotion that I like to use. It is non-scented. It's a dermatologist tested. It's really good for any kind of eczema or skin condition. I really do like this brand. I just don't have a backup, and I haven't really picked up another one to kind of replace it, but I really did like it. So there's that. And this was really good, like I said, for just a base, because it was non-scented. It didn't really conflict with any perfume that I put on top, which was really, really nice. And if you're wondering texture wise, I would say that it's like a good kind of in between texture of these two, but it's actually slightly leaning more towards this one. It's a little thin, but it also has some thickness in it, to the point where, like in the winter, this is like a really nice kind of thirst quenching of amount of moisture in my lotion, whereas this one I don't think would be thick enough during the winter, but it's really nice during the hotter months. So hopefully all of those comparisons and that background is really helpful. But I just find that layering and actually moisturizing my skin has helped in the grand scheme of things, to ensure that these scents stay on. And because I like these scents so much, I want them to stay on. So I'm going to start off with my full bottles, and then I will go to the samples that, knowing me at the point of uploading this video, which will literally be tomorrow for me, I may or may not press purchase for all of these, because life has been giving me lemons, and so I've been giving myself lemonade by purchasing. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is actually the fragrance for this baby, and this is the Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere scent from Philosophy. I only have the 2 fluid ounce bottle, and I say only because this is something that you have to overspray. This is a toilette concentration, so it's a very light, very soft, but I do really like this scent. I wish that they had the bigger size permanent so that I could pick it up. Do I need it now? No, but I do have a feeling that this is going to be something that I'm going to want to wear year round. I find that this is a very calming, very soothing scent, and I do enjoy going to sleep with this scent on me and lingering on me or in my sheets. So I really do like this. Highly recommend you just getting your nose on it. I find that this is available to at least smell in a bunch of Ultas, and they do have a smaller version of this, which I already finished. In the event that you want to kind of just get your nose on the scent in general, I would recommend it. Then continuing on and actually being true to me, my actual scent of the day today is actually Rihanna's Rebel Floor. I truly enjoy this scent. I have this in the 1 fluid ounce bottle. I have given this a little bit of a rest in the last couple of months because I didn't want to kind of really go through this, but I am now down to this part of the bottle, so I don't have much left. I can see myself finishing this easily before the end of spring. And by summertime, I would actually need a fuller bottle. They do have a 3.4 fluid ounce bottle that is available on Fragrance Net. I just decided not to pick it up until after I have completely finished this. But I really enjoy this scent. This is a very fruity, floral. I would say this, I think this has a variety of berries in there. And I would say this leans more berry than like citrus. There's definitely, I don't smell a citrus. If there is, I would say this leans more overall berry noted. I think this is an easy everyday scent. Very like, you know, you don't know what you want to smell like, throw this on. You don't really need a lot of sprays. I find that this really does project a little bit. The sillage is not really anything to write home about. I would say the longevity is really good too. I don't really smell it anymore, but I definitely think that towards the end of my workday, I was still smelling it. So I would say about 6 to 8 hours, where the 8 hours, it's really not projecting anymore after that. But I really do enjoy this scent. Definitely going to be one that I think is going to permanently be in my collection, same as the warm cashmere from Philosophy. Then I've been really enjoying layering these next two, specifically with this peach body whatever, and the one that I layer on the top the one that I layer on the top, and I actually have a base fragrance that I layer in between that body butter, and this is actually the Jo Malone Nectarine Blossom and Honey Cologne. Now what I love about Jo Malone is actually kind of a thing that I kind of low-key don't like about Jo Malone as well. They have very simple scents. You get one scent that you smell, and that's all you smell. It doesn't get complex. There's no variety. If it says it's nectarine and honey, that's what you're going to smell all day. And that really is what you're going to smell. When I said all day, I'm saying like 2 to 4 hours. This does not have a very long longevity, in my opinion. You're not going to really get a lot of projection or any sillage at all when it comes to this fragrance, which is why I've layered it with the fragrance that I'm going to talk about next. I really do enjoy the scent though, and I think if you're somebody who likes just a light scent, that you just kind of want to smell good, you don't really want to be loud in the room, you really don't even want it to last very long, maybe because you like to switch up fragrances throughout the day, or you just don't want it to last long because you're like going on an airplane in a couple hours, something like that. This would be something I would recommend. I think this is a really nice scent. Is this something that I'm gonna make sure I have in my collection lifelong? I don't really know, to be honest, but I really am enjoying it right now, and we'll see what happens when I get towards the end of that bottle. Now, like I said, I would layer a base fragrance on top of my peach body butter, and that was actually the Chloe Nomad Absolute de Parfum. Oh, and this is a 1 fluid ounce. And this, I believe, is a 1 fluid ounce as well. Honestly, the writing is no longer on the bottom, so I can't really tell you all. Yeah, it's a 1 fluid ounce. And this, like I said, is the Absolute de Parfum, so not the toilette. And this smells so good. So this not only has that peachy kind of citrusy notes going on in it, but it also does have some form of green earthy note in it. I want to say it is, what do I want to say it is? I can't remember. I'll probably have the notes on the screen, but there is some form of earthy kind of sagey note in here that is really grounding it. You don't really smell that part of the fragrance until I would say about the 2-3 hour mark. And so what I found is that if I mix these two together, what happens is I feel like this takes over, you know, the first bit of the smell that you get, the initial impressions, the first couple, I would say 2 to 4 hours, you're really smelling this in conjunction with this, of course. And so I feel like it kind of helps to extend the citrusy notes of this one, because, you know, this one is pretty much only citrusy kind of blossom sweetie notes. Then at the end, you get that woody kind of earthy sagey type notes in this one to continue that longevity of the fragrance overall. And this overall, I find, has a longer longevity. I would say this is more in the 6 to 8 range. I would say this definitely has more projection, so you're going to actually be smelled throughout the room. And sillage, I would say, is decent. It's nothing to really write home about, but I did kind of feel awkward because I actually had this combination when I went to the doctor's office, and I felt like I was, you know, I had a sillage with me. Did I get a compliment? No, but I just had that feeling. You ever feel that feeling where you're like, oh, maybe I put too much fragrance on today for the things that I'm doing? I kind of had that feeling. So do with that as you will. But overall, this is just a really, really nice scent. I think this is something, once again, that can be worn year around because of that like earthy, sagey note, wood shavings, whatever it is. I think it just kind of centers it enough that you can wear it in the spring and the fall and the winter as well, kind of as a light day winter. I don't know if this will be able to be something in the summer. I don't live in an area that it gets overly hot in the summer, so I think I personally will get away with it. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how much I can get use out of it in these next couple of months, and to see if I actually end up repurchasing or not. Right now, I don't really know, but we'll see what happens. The next is the last full bottle, and this one is actually from Viktor and Rolf, and this is their Flower Bomb and Ruby Orchid. So I recently picked this one up, and this is super unique compared to the other scents that I've been giving you guys. So these two have a very citrusy smell to them, very citrus heavy, for light, refreshing. Okay, then we get Rihanna. Like I said, this has like a berry note in there, but I think there is some like form of citrusy notes to kind of still give you that best of both worlds. Whereas this one, I feel, is truly like a berry, maybe raspberry or just like red berry kind of fruity fragrance. It is very much on that level of things. It is a really, really beautiful, beautiful scent. I would say projection and sillage are kind of moderate, kind of in that normal kind of decent bubble. Longevity, I would say, is about 4 to 6 hours for me. Not super, super long, but not terrible either. I haven't gotten like, you know, the biggest stint. I did just recently pick this up, but I think I've really been getting a lot of use out of it. I don't find that I need to use a lot of sprays when it comes to this. I find that, you know, it does give you a nice little pow for what I spray. So yeah, I've just really been enjoying this, and I find that in the combination of some of these more citrusy heavy fragrances, this has kind of been a breath of fresh air when I reach for this one. Then kind of adding in a little bit more to the mix. Like I said, this is more of a travel size than an actual sample or a full-on bottle. And this is actually my Tom Ford Rose de China scent. So this, once again, is just adding a different kind of scent profile to this mix. This really does smell like rose to me, but this is a unique kind of rose. I don't have a lot of rose scents under my nose, so I've not really kind of been able to really compare this to much. I have compared it to the other two in this kind of scent family that Tom Ford released, but I don't think I have any other scents in my collection that are distinctly rose. Like rose is like the top note that you're really going to smell. But what I truly enjoy about this one is, to me, this kind of has a powdery finish to it. So after you get that rose and you get kind of that refreshing scent and just breath of fresh air to it, you get that powderiness to it, to the scent that I wouldn't actually mind if my sheets smelled like this going to bed. I think I kind of get like that sheety, relaxing feel when I wear this. So this is kind of, to me, like a super laid back day where I want to smell good. I want to smell like something not so refreshing as a citrus, but I also don't want to smell like deep and inviting like a berry. So I will reach for this, and I've really been enjoying it. I have been slowly using it. And with Tom Ford, this is a Eau de Parfum. I kind of dropped off telling you guys that, and this I don't even think is an ounce. I would say this is probably a 10 milliliter bottle. But what I will say is, Tom Ford, you're definitely going to get that projection. You're definitely going to get that sillage. Longevity wise, I wouldn't say this is super good, but I do enjoy this scent, and overall I just enjoy the house in general. I do already have 2 full bottles of Tom Ford fragrances, and I think this is going to be my 3rd. I just want to get through that travel size before I kind of once again bring in a full full-size bottle, and Tom Ford ain't cheap, okay? So I would love to get that on a discount somehow, some way. So those are all of the full bottles that I already have purchased one way, either, you know, previously or this kind of year. And I have been kind of slowly testing out some of the sampler sets that I previously picked up, and from testing out those sampler sets, I picked up 4 samples that I really want to get full bottles, and I figured let's talk about those as well. So one of the sample kits that I picked up was from Imaginary Authors. So they have a very unique kind of stick, if you will. They are an independently owned brand, if I remember correctly, and I really enjoy 2 of their scents specifically for this season. So one is Yesterday Haze, and this is a unique scent. I think I have to spray them because, you know, they just don't give what an actual bottle will give. So Yesterday Haze is a unique scent. It smells refreshing, opening. I wouldn't say that I personally get any form of citrus or floral or anything that distinctly tells me that it should be used in the spring. But because it's just such an open and bright fragrance, I feel like it would work beautifully in the spring and the summer, if that makes sense. It does have some lightness to it, where it just works. I don't really know how to explain it. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily, like I said, a citrus or a rose or a berry. It just smells light. And so that's kind of why I think it would work beautifully during the spring season. And yeah, I think that would be really cool. And it definitely brings something to kind of all of these kind of springier scents that is something unique, and like I said, just giving me a different scent profile overall. The other one that I'm interested in picking up is Sun Drunk. So Sun Drunk gives me the smell of it kind of is, so Sun Drunk kind of is a sunscreen scent, but it's not. It's definitely different. I would say it still has those sun notes in there. And once again, it smells bright. It kind of smells, oh, do you guys remember when you used to open up your jug of Sunny D? You remember that like first smell of Sunny D? That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of that first smell. It's just bright and orangey and inviting, and it's just nice. It is very nice. These are the 2 scents from the brand. I only got 1 sampler set, and I didn't realize that I didn't get to sample all of the scents. So I would love to get the other 6 scents, the other 12 and sample those. But these are the 2 from the scents that I was able to get my nose on that I really enjoy, and I think they would be perfect for the spring. And if there's a sale for Memorial Day, you betcha your girl's gonna get it. Okay, then there was another house that I went through and kind of did my sampler set sniffing, and it was 19-69. Now this is an independently owned brand that is currently being sold in Sephora, and that's how I got the sampler set. And the first one I want to talk about is Capri. So Capri is a citrus. I would say it's leaning more towards tangerine than anything, but it's a lighter version of a tangerine citrusy scent. So it's not super apparent, but it's just a nice situation. If you are into the level of Jo Malone, it's definitely not as sweet as this particular one, but I would say if you could get a tangerine scent that is not overly sweet, this would be it. It's really nice. I really like it. Is it a must-have? No. I definitely think there is some kind of like sagey, mossy, kind of earthy note in there that is grounding it a little bit, which I do appreciate. And I find that it actually comes out a lot more after a couple of hours of it really being on your skin. But overall, this is a really, really nice scent, and I would love to pick up once again a full bottle of it specifically for this season. I think it would be perfect. I also think you could wear this towards the summer. I don't think it is so heavy that it would be overpowering during the summer. Once again though, I don't live in an area where it gets overly hot in the summer, so I don't really know. Okay, and then the last thing I want to talk about is actually once again from 1969, and this is in Invisible Post. So this is unique. Super unique. It's like a sour. So is this like maybe lime? It's something tangy, something distinctly tangy, citrusy though, but bright and soft. There's definitely a tang in this. Whatever the citrus is, it is extremely tang. I think there has to be lime in this. I can't be that bad at notes that there's not lime. I'm pretty sure there's lime. I also feel like there is something maybe greeny in this as well. But this is just super unique. Like, you know, I have some that are rosy, I have some that are citrusy, and then you have this where it's like, I want to be kind of citrus, but I want to be tangy. Like this is like my sassy spring scent. You know what I mean? Like it's super unique. I really like it, and I think out of the two, like if I had to choose between the two from my 1969, I would definitely choose Invisible Post because this is the most unique out of these two. And if I had to choose between Sun Drunk and Yesterday Haze, ooh, I don't know. That's a hard one. It'd probably be Sun Drunk, but I don't want to say it. It'd probably be Yesterday Haze, let's face it. Anyways, these are some of the fragrances that I've been really enjoying lately, these last couple of months, and I've been getting quite a bit of wear out of them. I'm excited to see what my fragrance combination is going to be for tonight. And if you're interested in following me on Instagram, I did go ahead and change my handle to this exact same handle as my YouTube channel name is now, and it is just Swaggy B Beauty. I will have a background. Get ready with me talking to you guys about the nickname and why I named it, why I use this nickname Swaggy B. It has nothing to do with me having swag. I am the most awkward person in life. But yeah, I'll talk about that in another day. That's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I need to stop talking now so that I can edit and upload this for tomorrow morning. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be tomorrow, like I said, which will be showcasing my 3 looks. And this will be look number 3. So I'll see you guys then. Alrighty guys, bye.